I want to share with you some of the best exercises that we can use to practice as a beginner tattoo artist. Even if we've already started tattooing and we just want to brush up, stay sharp with our skills, I want to show you some fantastic exercises that we can use to develop our skills even further, anytime, any place. It does not matter where you are at. Right here, I have a small assortment of some of my tattooing workbooks that I created that are specifically designed to help us develop our abilities further anytime, any place, as I've mentioned. We can use these books while watching a movie to practice. We can use these books and practice and develop on our lunch break at work. We can take these to the park with us and simply practice our abilities literally anywhere. Right here, this book is called the Tattoo Practice Companion, which consists of loads of different exercises from lining, shading, dot work, all the way from beginner to advanced. So if I show you the Tattoo Practice Companion, you're gonna see that we start off with basic lining exercises, and then we go all the way up to intermediate as well as advanced as we make our way more into the book, as you can see. And then from there we step on over into shading, everything in one workbook, as you can see, fine lining right there. We step on over into shading right here, and then we go into dot work, textures, and more. So now we're in the dot work section, and this workbook contains loads, over 1,000 different exercises that you can use to practice and develop your abilities even further. I've done an in-depth review on this book, so if you're wanting to know more about it, this one's called the Tattoo Practice Companion, and it is available on my YouTube channel in case you want to check it out. The workbooks themselves are available on my Amazon author page. I will leave a link for you in the description below, as well as in a pinned comment to the books that are featured here in this video. Should you have any questions, please feel free to drop a comment down below. I'll do my best to assist in the best possible direction. This section consists of loads of different packing exercises, as you can see. I am also going to demonstrate some of these exercises here and show you how you would go about using them. You can see there's even textures as well here, from cracks, brush motions, you can see splats, and much more. We have fur right there, and then everything that we learned within this workbook, we get to practice it here at the end and employ all of our techniques that we picked up here in this workbook. So this workbook right here contains over 1,000 exercises that you can use to get to practicing. Once again, as I mentioned, you can do this anywhere, anytime, any place. You can use a tattoo machine, a pencil, or a ballpoint pen to get that practice in. If you're really wanting to make the most out of your practice, I would recommend using a tattoo machine with a ballpoint cartridge. If we look further, I have more books that are tailored to each individual technique. So for example, I have the Tattoo Journal Volume 1, 2, and 3, which are basic lining exercises to advanced, and then all the way to advanced lining and shading, which is in Volume 3. Volume 1 consists of loads of beginner-friendly basic exercises that we can use to better our lining, as you can see, and they do advance as the book progresses. And this is going to be Volume 1. You get a certificate of completion upon completing it as well. They are available in a paperback and hardcover format. This one's Volume 2, and you can see that it's the same approach. The lining exercises in this workbook get more advanced. We learn about sculpting different line weights as well. We start practicing, we get an introduction into shading as well within the Tattoo Journal Volume 2. And then Volume 3, we go full on into employing what we practice and learn in Volume 1 and 2. So you can see there's just going to be an array of different designs that we can use to go ahead and get our practice in. And you can see this goes on quite a bit here. Take that out. Loads of different exercises. That's the Tattoo Journal Volume 1, 2, and 3. There's also a book dedicated to just shading specific, which is called the Shading Journal Volume 1. Volume 2 is being created right now. This is going to be Volume 1. You can see where we're getting introduced into shading and getting comfortable with the technique of applying the cleanest shades that we can possibly apply. You get the idea here. So you can see that these books are definitely beginner friendly. So it doesn't matter if you're just starting out or if you're already diving into tattooing, you can find purpose and value within these books. The same thing is going to be the Floral Guide Volume 1 and 2. And I would say that these are all more on the basic end. This one steps into Floral, which is a bit more advanced. As you can see, here is an exercise completed. Here is the reference, and then here is the shading that I applied. Now, that's going to be the Floral Guide Volume 1 and 2, specialized in floral design. So if you're wanting to get better with your floral, I would recommend picking these up. These right here are more for advancing. I think these are more advanced techniques. Right here we have dot magic, which focuses on pointillism. So you can see we have to be really accurate with our deposits to create a full image here using pointillism. And that one's called dot magic. Loads of exercises here. Same thing with vehicle practice. This one's dedicated to learning how to apply vehicles. Here's one that I completed, and you can see that vehicles aren't necessarily my strong suit, but there was a lot of learning that happened when applying this. So I'm eager to go ahead and get back into this and learn more about applying vehicles. But you can see also a complete workbook about that, as well as a facial feature guide. Any one of these can be good if you're wanting to step outside your comfort zone. If you're just starting, I would recommend starting with something a little bit easier, like the Tattoo Practice Companion with lining and shading. Once you start getting your techniques down, bring them on over into these workbooks, so that way you can start practicing everything that you're learning right here up front. In my opinion, these are some of the best exercises that we can ask for, especially if we're just starting out. If we take a look, this section is, or this is actually the first page of the basic lining exercises within the Tattoo Practice Companion. The way that I would go about practicing is I would simply get a ballpoint pen, a tattoo machine, or a pencil, and then I would simply follow the motions, trying to mimic that of a tattooing workflow. And once again, as I mentioned, in my opinion, these are probably some of the best exercises that we can get our hands on and practice with. I think what really makes it worthwhile is that we can literally practice this anytime, any place, anywhere. It doesn't matter. And if we are going to be somewhere where we need to be quiet, we can use a pencil or a pen. Let's say if we're going to be in the comfort of our own home, we can go ahead and use a tattoo machine as well to get practice in, making these some of the best exercises that any beginner can use. If you don't have a tattoo machine or any gear, you can simply use a ballpoint pen like this Bic pen right here that I'm using. It's just a standard black round stick medium Bic pen, or you can even use a pencil to make the most out of your practice. Now, if you're really wanting to get the most from your time, you can use a tattoo machine along with a ballpoint cartridge. This is an ink claw ballpoint cartridge with an ink claw Challenger tattoo machine. You can see that I can also get the most out of my practice by using this machine and really getting the feel of the vibration and flow of how I would go about applying these areas right here. So you can see I'm following my A point, making my way on over to my B. I'm not going for perfection, but I am trying to just be a little bit better each and every time that I apply a new line. So if you are looking just to simply get some practice in because you're at the start of your journey, these tattooing workbooks I feel could greatly impact the future of your tattooing career, as there's loads of many different exercises, and if there's any place to make any mistakes, it's going to be within these workbooks. I want you to embrace making the mistakes in here, so that way when you go on over to fake skin and human skin, you know what exactly to stay away from. If that makes sense. You can see A to B all the way. Not by any means perfect, but I'm getting my practice in. Another good example, this page right here has really long lines. So I'm gonna see if I can kind of practice these longer lines here and how well I can execute them. Not bad, but not perfect. Definitely could use a lot of practice still. Now, we have to keep in mind that if we're just starting out, we can literally practice until our heart's content. There's no right or wrong. There's no specific time frame that you have to practice. You can practice until your battery dies or until you're happy. Here are some more lining exercises, and these would be more in the intermediate end. You can see I've identified my A point. I'm bringing it on over to my B point, which is going to be right around here. Here's some advanced exercises. If you've tried circles, we'll know how difficult circles actually are. So you'll be able to get plenty of circle practice as well. And again, that makes these great for basic exercises here, all the way to advanced. You can see A to B, doing it as best I can. I'm not going for perfection, I'm just simply going for the best that I can. So I'm going to go the other way now. Now, in my opinion, these are some of the best exercises that we as a beginner will gain access to. So if you're just starting out, or if you're wanting to sharpen your skills, put more practice in, then these workbooks will be a great investment for you. The reason why I feel like these are great for beginner exercises or just developing our skills in general is because we are mimicking that of an actual tattooing workflow. So you can see I have my machine, I'm running at 4.5 volts. I have a ballpoint cartridge which mimics that of a needle. I get to move my hands and my body in a position that helps me benefit my application. So you can see I have my A point to my B point, in course, or according to the workbook, I'm going to start right here. And I'm literally going to approach this the exact same way that I would as if I'm tattooing human skin or fake skin. Tattooing straight onto the paper, and I'm not ripping through. So my A point to my B point, as you can see, came out fairly clean. If I go to the back, you can see that nothing is coming through. There's a minor indentation, but there's still no break in the paper. And to prove that point, I could even tattoo this side and show you that we can tattoo both sides and not break through the paper. So here's my A point, allow me to get comfortable. If we're able to tattoo the paper and not break through, then we're off to a very good start, because we should be able to tattoo the paper as you see me doing here without breaking through. So you can see I tattooed the same spot on both sides, and I don't have any sort of break in the paper at all, as you can see. I just have an indentation, and that is it. Now, I can sit here all day and keep explaining why I feel like these are some of the best exercises that we could come across as a beginner or a tattoo artist who just wants to keep developing our skill sets to stay sharp. Right here, in my professional opinion, these are some of the best exercises, hands down, that we can get our hands on. Not to mention that we can practice anytime, any place, using resources that are readily available to us, like a pencil or a pen. We could even take it a step further and use a tattoo machine with ballpoint cartridges. So instead of rambling on continuously, I feel like this is a great place to conclude this video. However, should you have any questions at all, I encourage you to drop a comment down below. I will do my absolute best to assist you in the best possible direction. Once again, I will be leaving my Amazon affiliate links to the workbooks that were featured in this video down in the description below. I will also leave them in a pinned comment in the comment section in case you're interested in investing into these workbooks. That will be it for this one. I do appreciate you, your time, and your support. Thank you very much for watching. You have a great day. Are you wanting to develop your tattooing skill sets? Now you can practice and develop anytime, any place with an assortment of tattooing workbooks that I've created. With these assorted tattooing workbooks, we can practice our basic lining all the way to advanced lining. We can practice shading, shading placement, dot work, textures, and more. All we are gonna need is a tattoo workbook of mine. We can use a pencil, pen. We can even use a tattoo machine with a ballpoint cartridge to develop our tattooing abilities further. That means that we don't need tattoo ink, we don't need napkins or petroleum jelly to get to practicing. Simply open one of my tattooing workbooks and get going. It really is that easy. You can get your hands on one of my developmental tattooing assorted workbooks by simply clicking the links in my description or in the pinned comment section below, or navigating on over to Amazon.com, typing in Daniel Yuck, and you'll see all of the assorted tattoo workbooks that I've created come up. If you have an Amazon account, be sure to follow my Amazon author page as well, as I would greatly appreciate your support. Should you have any questions at all, drop them in the comment section down below. I will do my best to assist you in the best possible direction.